Alright, what you see here is a new fan I picked up off of Facebook Marketplace. This is a Marley or leading edge industrial ceiling fan model HRCF. This was their economical model that they sold up until I think a few years ago they stopped selling these, as I don't see it on their website no more. This was basically the cheapest model you could buy from them and such. It's not as heavy duty as the other models, although there really isn't that much of a difference. In all honesty, the motor is exactly the same as the stuff you'd see at the Home Depot ones and such. The only difference probably is just the capacitor values and such, but that's about it. And this one has different blades, and it does have those harsh environment type canopies, which I do think is pretty neat. But yeah, I got this off Marketplace because of a few reasons. One is that it was brand new in the box. I do have the box for it, but it's just a regular box, and it would be kind of big to put in the space to show. Another reason is that these are childhood for me, and the other part is that it was pretty cheap. They were originally asking $50, but I was able to talk them down quite a bit, so I got it for a lot cheaper. Now, I met the guy at a YMCA parking lot, and I think they were originally going to use these there because on the box it says like it was shipped to the YMCA of that city. But the guy told me he actually ended up using them for his garage. He had two of them. This was the third one, and he ended up not using the third one, so he figured he'd sell it. So yeah, that's the story behind that. I'm guessing they were going to use this for the gym in the YMCA, or they didn't need them and they let him have them or something like that. He helps out there quite a bit and such. But yeah, now with this fan, the reason why these are childhood for me is because of the bowling alley that I've been to many times as a kid that has 5 of these, and the 2 Union Industrials. The Unions are obviously more childhood for me, but these are pretty big childhood fans for me as well, as they were put up when I was about like 10 or 11 years old. They had replaced 5 of the other Unions because back in the year 2006, 2007, there was a big gas explosion that damaged a lot of houses. A few cities from other areas, including my city, was able to hear the explosion. I didn't hear it. My mom did at night, but a lot of the buildings were damaged, and some of them had to be demolished, reconstructed, or they had to have all the windows replaced and such. That bowling alley did get some damage. There was a lot of water damage that happened there, so because of that, 5 of the unions stopped working. They were completely locked up, seized up, and everything. From what the owners told me. However, the weirdest part about it is that the 2 that were closest to where the explosion happened are the 2 that didn't get damaged from the explosion. Those are the only 2 that didn't get water damage, whereas the other ones did. But they also were doing renovation at the time due to the water damage that happened there. But yeah, I mean, I remember one time I went. First time I saw them there, they actually didn't even have the drop ceiling. So they had the fans up, but the drop ceiling was like it was just the cage for them, I guess it's it, or the like there was none of the drop ceiling tiles there. It was just all the framework for it. So I kind of got to see it as they were like renovating it, but they were open, but they were still like working on the ceiling and such, but it wasn't finished. So it was kind of cool to see that. But yeah, I do wish I could have got the unions. I mean, I'm definitely looking for them still. They're not that common to come across, but they do show up here and there. But the version that I want is the ones that have those buttons on the bottom, similar to the Newton Pro lines. Those are the types that were at that laundromat, not the laundromat, the bowling alley. They still have 2 of them there. I'm still trying to get them. To my luck, the guy's not wanting to get rid of them at the moment, but hopefully that'll change. But maybe if I find a few replacement stock fans, like another one of these used or something else, like a Westinghouse one or something, maybe he'll let me get them. But I mean, the fact that he didn't replace them all at the same time, instead of just, he only replaced the ones that were damaged, so that tells me that he didn't really want to change them out. He just did it because they just stopped working. But yeah. Now these fans I've seen at a few other places, one of which is a body shop that has 6 of them. And another place I saw these at recently was a, what is it, a laundromat that has 3 of these, and they have a ton of neutral pro light 2s and one Hampton Bay Industrial. Now, I honestly don't hate these like a lot of other collectors do. They're leading edge products. I like them, to be honest. They are childhood for me, but also they do the job. I mean, this is just a more of a light duty one without a question. It's not a heavy duty fan. But I mean, this one I know wasn't that expensive. I think these are like maybe 150, 130 new, or something around that, maybe a little bit less, or maybe a tiny bit more. But they were, for someone who just needs someone to do the job, like in a commercial environment, like a store. This definitely wouldn't be bad, but I definitely wouldn't recommend it over like a gold line or something. But for bowling alleys, laundromats, or even maybe not schools, but like just places that you don't need the highest air movement and such, I definitely feel like these will definitely do the job for that. Even workout gyms, I feel like these will be good for that and such. But yeah, this one is not that old. It's actually only from February of 2016. So 0216, and then here's the date code. And then there's a tag. HRCF 56-inch ceiling fan. Marley electric heating. So this is more of like a heat recovery fan, kind of like the Amazon heat fan. There's a better view of the tag, which a lot of people tend to get these mixed up for them, but there is a difference. The big difference is the button in the center. The Marley leading edge ones are just flat like this in the center, and the other ones kind of are like a legitimate belly button. They kind of go in and such, and they can also be removed. But and the canopies are a bit different, but that is the main difference between them. And the motors are kind of a bit more rounded, smoothed on the edges of the Emerson version, whereas these are just more like this. But yeah, that'll be it for this video. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and stay tuned for more videos to come.